Okay, gents, I have a mission, I have a quest, I have a purpose. So this might be a series. We'll see, though, how well we do out here. I want to do a series where I try to get a less than 1-inch group with a military surplus rifle and iron sights out at 100 yards. Let's just see if we can do it. I'm hoping this rifle is capable of it. I've done sub 2-inch groups before, but we're going to push it to the limit, both for me and the rifle. Let's talk about the rifle first. This is a Yugoslavian Mauser, an M24-47, because it was originally made in 1924, but after the Second Great War, or World War II, however you want to word it, they did a rearming, a refurbishing of all their stock, because they did put out a model 1948, but before they made that decision, they took everything they had and they recreated them, or rather refurbished them, to a certain spec. When I got this, it was basically covered in cosmoline, and I had to lovingly bring it back to life. There are a couple parts that have been replaced. The leaf spring underneath here, it was broke when I got it, so that is replaced. The firing pin spring has been replaced, because the other one was way too worn, way too gunky. Not because it got cosmoline, but just because it had been cocked and in storage for like 60 years. Lastly, I added this front sight hood because it helps me maintain the sight picture a lot better. So that's actually standard issue with the M48. The 24-47, it was optional. It has the slots there that you can slide things into place. But I bought one and I put it on there. Let's talk about our cartridges. So we have two load workups here. On the top, we have, and this is all Nosler brass, by the way, with Nosler custom competition bullets, 200 grain. Anyway, these top ones, I have 5 groups of 5 shots. They are propelled by Norma 203B, otherwise known as Reloader 15, I'm told. They are really stupid close together. And we're going to be going from 44 to 46 grains in half grain increments, working up. And they're propelled by CCI number 34 primers. Down here, we're using the very last of my IMR Enduron 4166. I've already been out once, where I tested some powder charges. Now, previously, with another type of brass I used, 44 grains worked the best, and that's what my test rounds are going to be, just more for funsies than anything else, just to help warm up the barrel. But when I brought it out, 41 grains worked out really good. So right now we're testing seating depth. We're testing with seating depth. So standard, what we started with was 3.532, and then we're going down in 5,000ths increments. So very slow, very steady, but we're going to see how well we do. Why is this one turned upside down? Because I'm a big dumb idiot, and you can see right there. Anyway, so that's a quick rundown. Let's shoot some groups. Okay, so these are my seating depth tests with my 8mm Mauser. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the maximum length that I tested out at 3.532. This is 5,000 shorter. Ignore this one. That's from a previous string. That just ignore it. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And so that's 3.527. 5,000 shorter again. Now here, again, 5,000 shorter, so 3.522. We're on to something here. I mean, we saw this nice little tight cluster there, so we're in the ballpark of something nice. However, you'll notice just 3 shots. That's because I was an idiot. Yeah, look at that. So thought I'd bring that out there just for some show and tell. This is, again, 5,000 shorter, so 3.518. Opens back up again to 4 or 5 inches. And then lastly, you have this at 3.513. And we definitely have a nice tight little cluster there with a flyer out there. So I feel like we're dangerously close there, but then again, this is 100 yards iron sights with a Milsurp rifle. So I'm willing to say, hey, that could just be me, but obviously I'm going to have to do some fine tuning a little bit more. Maybe I'll bring it down to 2 thousandths difference, see if we can find some sort of consistency there. But then again, this is not an optimal load, so it could just be the load. Only testing will tell, but still, military surplus rifle, 100 yards. There you go. So this is the maximum charge, 46 grains of Norma 203B. And you can see that consistently, those are flattened. They're not sweet baby Jesus, take the wheel flattened, but they're bordering there. And you can see of 45.5, that one looks much the same, but then you have some primer roundness right there. Overall, they look pretty decent, but this is definitely approaching a true maximum charge. That said, let's go take a look at our targets. I'm gonna bring along our notes here, and let's see how well we do. Okay, so here we are. Let's start from the bottom, work our way up. So this is 44 and 5 shots each, by the way. 44 grains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's from an earlier target. I tore that out just as a reminder. So that's like a 5-6 inch group. That's worse than even the specifications for like the period ammo of the time. Moving over here, this is definitely better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shift in the point of impact a little bit. Definitely a tighter group. Still about a 4-inch group. Down to the middle charge, so this is 45 grains exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, shifting the point of impact, but this time further up. And the group opens up. This, it might be slightly better than the first group, but that's still bad. Like, that's very scattered. Like, I don't even like the way it looks. This one here, you kind of got a cluster there, but you have this one outlier, this flyer. And yeah, sure, that can be me because it's 100 yards with iron sights, whatever. But either way, it opened up. 45.5. Here we go. This looks like a 2-inch group. We'll have to run it through Range Buddy to know for sure. But I like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. Kind of two, I don't want to say two outliers, but there we go. But note, point to shift impact is still to the upper left, but also maybe a little bit more to the right. Actually, it's pretty in line with the first two groups, so it's more of just a shift up. Now, over here, our last charge, it opens up again a little bit, 3-4 inch group, but the holes are pretty ragged, and I'm trying to see what else it's trying to tell me. I don't know, it seems weird, because 2, kind of one out. Was I having issues with front sight alignment? Was it me or was it the load? I guess it could be the load, because definitely it's a shift to the point of impact. Stand by. Okay, and going on to the last charge. This, the group definitely opened up, but furthermore, it's a definite shift in definite shift to the point of impact. Definitely more towards the left, and that's very drastic. And it's kind of the way it prints. I just don't like. Not only are they ragged holes, but it's just not a happy-looking group. I could blame this on issues with front post sight alignment, all the other fun stuff. But honestly, we're coming off of just shooting that, and look at that. Those are far nicer looking holes. They're not so ragged, and it's nothing to do with how the target is attached to the cardboard. They're all roughly the same. So I guess we're on the verge of a scatter node here, or this is a scatter node. I'll have to also crunch some numbers, but yeah, So this was Norma 203B, 44 grains up to 46. Overall length 3.1, CCI primers, Nosler bullets, Nosler brass. So we're on to something here, and I like how it's still in the ballpark of some of the others in terms of point to impact. But some more testing will definitely need to be done. 2-inch group, iron sights, military surplus. I'm not complaining, and we can only improve, hopefully.